Santa Rai is a former Bhutanese refugee, lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. Along with his family, he was forcefully banished from Bhutan in early 90s. He spent two measurable decades in Bhutanese refugee camp in Nepal and was relocated in Salt Lake City, Utah in 2008. He did not have any idea about anything at the beginning. Coincidentally, he began working in an Indian restaurant and learned some ideas of restaurant business. After 6 years of intensive work in business, he began his own restaurant. Now he is making substantial amount of money running family-owned restaurant. Devi Timshina has the same story as Santa. Has eyebrow threading parlor. She has three employees in her business. She makes decent amount of money in her business. She paid above $8,000 when she filed the tax last year. Recently, she has bought a $500,000 house. Tashi is a Tibetan refugee relocated in Salt Lake City, Utah in 2011. Has been pursuing his nursing degree in University of Utah. Why you chose the nursing program, Tashi? I asked him.
I chose nursing because it is easy to get a job in the nursing field and make decent money.
John Feary, a former refugee from South Sudan, has a transportation business. He drives taxi in Salt Lake City International Airport and makes good amount of money. He has two fellow drivers who work for him, and he is making plan to buy another vehicle for taxi business soon. United States has been adopting different forms of immigration since its beginning. Either legal or illegal or refugee who have been living in this country have only one motto: to become a US citizen and have a prosperous and peaceful. Pro-immigrants believe that immigrants in United States contribute trillions of dollars in GDP along with huge number of employment opportunities and economic growth. They have helped to form and maintain the integrated and dynamic society. Tara Acharya, an immigration officer in International Rescue Committee, says that many refugees endures a hard assimilation process at the beginning, but within expected period of time, above 80% of resettled refugees are self-reliant.
We regularly follow up them until they finally become self-dependent. We provide job training, interpreter service, and encourage them to integrate into the society. Our motto is to make them independent.
Tara has said about the refugee assimilation process. Karan Chetri, the General Secretary of Bhutanese Refugee Community of Utah, revealed the fact that there are 643 Bhutanese refugee families lives in Salt Lake City. More than 40% of Bhutanese refugees own house, and most of the family have at least one vehicle. Immigration, both legal and illegal, has been a burning issue in contemporary American political discussions. It is a controversial topic that has been extremely debated in the American media because immigration to the United States has increased in recent decades. A decade ago, Mexico was the most common country of origin for newly arrived immigrants, but now the number reflects a significant decline in Mexican immigration since 2005 and then dramatic shift towards Asia, especially China and India. Much of the shift can be attributed to economic reasons. A booming job market for people with their technical and scientific skills has drawn increasing numbers of immigrants from India and China. The controversy regarding immigration is associated with several factors including socio-economic, cultural, historical, demographic, and principle of democracy. The vast majority of Americans believe that the effect of enormous illegal migration into the United States is the major illness of nation that our government must fix it. Many US politicians have strongly argued to review American immigration policies. Many of them oppose existing immigration policies and advocate to ban immigrants. Anti-immigrants believe that illegal and unregulated immigration has encouraged crime such as human trafficking, smuggling, and terrorism in the United States. They believe that the mass departure of immigrants help to reduce mass spending on healthcare, education for illegal immigrants and their US-born children. It is not wrong that we have been facing many socio-economic, demographic as well as cultural issues such as rapid population growth, unemployment, human trafficking, smuggling, illegal drug trade, etc. But we cannot conclude that all those problems are caused by immigrants. Increasing anti-immigration sentiment is against our ancestors' ideology that all men and women are created equal. Anti-immigrant sentiment is a kind of bias which is Trump administration's ideological flaw that underestimates the contribution of immigrants in this country. If we take international context, more than 20% of Canada's population and nearly 30% of Australia's population are not native born. According to the New American Economic Research Fund, refugees are 50% likely to become entrepreneurs than American citizens who born in the United States. Therefore, immigration is not a problem to those countries but a boon. Is the Syrian crisis an outcome of immigrants? Is Afghanistan's war an outcome of immigrants? Of course not. Most important things regarding immigration is the management of population. Studies have shown that US population has increased in balance ratio with an increment in US economy. Therefore, it is crystal clear that we are getting net benefit from immigrants in various ways. Our role to promote democratic values, human rights, peace and stability of the world sometimes guide us to shelter some people from outside world. We have been adopting some refugees and accepting some political asylums to achieve our long-term goal. There is no doubt it is eventually benefit our nation to adopt integrity, cultural diversity, human rights and progressive democratic norms.